Then tell me about that. Like, what's your business like now?
Yeah, so we're continuously, we're booked out probably about 12 weeks, and we're just continuing to hire more. Um, and like I said, we were doing 25, 1,000 prior to Painter Growth, and now we're doing 25,000 a week in production.
Welcome to the Painter Growth Podcast, where we help you scale your painting company in record time. Join us as we explore sales, marketing, hiring, finances, leadership, and more, everything that you need to know to scale and grow your painting business. I hope you enjoy and subscribe.
What's up, everyone? Michael Hickman here, and I am joined by Mr. Mike Johnson, the founder and owner of Wisconsota Painting. New branding.
Yeah.
Love it, Mike. What's up?
Thank you. Nothing much, just another day in the life. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, no, pumped to be on. Love watching this stuff.
Glad to have you here. And why don't we just get started? Just introduce yourself.
Yeah, so Mike Johnson here. We're based out of the Midwest here, Wisconsin, Minnesota border. Specifically, we do work in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul, but our kind of hub right now is about an hour east in the great city of Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your company kind of before you ever heard of us.
Yeah, no. So I'm a college pro painter pipeline guy. So I was introduced to painting at a young age and staining, kind of in my youth. My parents would make me stay on our deck, every summer, when I was in middle school and high school. Started doing that for like neighbors, as I kind of was trying to make some coin, played sports a lot. And then I got to college, and kind of was like, hey, that was in the past. I'm now, going to be economics finance major. That was kind of my path. And I stumbled upon, College Works freshman year. And I was like, oh, it's something I could do. Had a good time with that. And then after that, I was kind of like got that entrepreneurial itch. And I ended up, kind of talking to some family the year after. And I, came back and worked with them a little bit. And they kind of said, hey, you should just start your own. Like, you'd make some good coin, and, it'd be a great opportunity for you. And you probably learn the most you can. You know what I mean? And so I started doing that summers in college. Started doing subbing out work during the school year, while I was still in college. And then I stumbled upon Painter Growth 2023 in September. And I kind of heard of you guys before in other, painting coaching programs. And I was like, this is really interesting, but like, is this really something I really want to spend my money on? Like, am I all in on this yet? And
what was your business like at the time?
Gosh, I mean, it was, small scale. I was on the tools every day, and not that I hated it, but like at that point, like, I was like, I know that if I'm going to continue doing this as a career, I will not be doing, I will not be on the tools like this. So it's like,
for you, or was it pretty much just you?
It was a mix. I'd do a job by myself sometimes, but I'd have buddies help out, or I'd have guys that have worked for me for summers, come back and work, or a sub crew that I know, and they would take care of a job. But I always remember like the best part of those was when I was like, wait, we're producing a job and I'm not on it. But I was like, I need to get that systematized. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, I stumbled upon you guys, and I was like, that's how I could do this. Like, this could solve, that problem of like getting this into like a systematized role.
What was like the moment in your business where you realized that you needed some outside help?
When it became jobs that I knew it would take me, a long time to do alone, or something like that, where I knew that like I was incapable of just doing this job by myself, and it would be a scalable operation. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
was there like a time in your journey where you were just like fed up with how the business was going and you knew you needed to change?
Yeah, no, I have a house of hell, like how you talk about. That was kind of my breaking point, where I'm like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I need to figure out how to like do this like way easier and put way less work into it. Big cabin, a couple weeks before 4th of July weekend. Homeowner was like, hey, I'd like to get this done by then. I said, yeah, for sure. And they were like, I don't think you're going to do it. And I was like, oh no, like we'll take care of it. We did get it done in time. It looked amazing, but it ended up with, me painting with a flashlight, 9 p.m. a couple nights. Like we worked, probably, 12, 14-hour days, probably 4 or 5 days in a row to get that thing done. So that was when I realized, okay, if I'm going to do this, like it needs to be, it needs to be systematized. It needs to be better. And I got to figure out how to do that. So that's where I started, seeing you guys' ads and social stuff. And it's like, okay, this could be something that maybe I go into and, eventually I had to make that leap. I mean, that was the pain point where I was like, I know that this shouldn't have been this hard. And, this needs to be changed.
Yeah. So then you started following us for a little while, watching some of our videos and whatnot. What was the thing that made you decide that this was the direction that I want to go?
I mean, there's a lot of social proof, but you also like nowadays, everything online is, take with a grain of salt. It was seeing that you guys had that guarantee, that money back, 90-day, like we're going to take care of it and the investment's going to pay for itself. That sold me. That sold me for sure.
Okay, cool. So, just on average, like what was your monthly revenue on average that you're doing before you signed up with us?
Probably about 25,000.
Okay. Okay, cool. And so you signed up with us. What was the first, couple of months like?
I was in a unique situation where I was still in college, but those couple first months where it was just, devour this information that you guys have and like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I need. Like, this is going to fix this problem. This is going to fix this problem. So a lot of it was implementing that and then setting up systems, sales wise. And also right away, just the community that you come into with you guys was stellar. Being a business owner can be really lonely, and being able to kind of like come together with other people with that same problem is like just huge. It just gains momentum. You get excited talking about it and seeing how other people fix problems. And I'm a big believer with paying with my money versus paying with my time. And that's what this group does, is enables you to fix problems a lot faster than it would if you were solo.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Why did you decide to start the business while you were still going to school? Why not wait until the semester was out?
That's a great question. Honestly, probably is something that I should have done. Honestly, now that I look back on it, but I don't know. It's just I had stuff going. I'm like, I don't want to stop. Like I have momentum right now. So that's kind of what kept me going, is just having that. And obviously, it's difficult. There's so many hours in a day, but I'm glad I did that, and got me to where I am now.
Cool. So once you got out of school and you're able to kind of focus on this, like tell me about like the changes that you're seeing in your business. Like what were you implementing? What were the changes that you're noticing?
Yeah, no, I mean, just having, quantifiable numbers to like look at, and having directions, and just having a blueprint for, the littlest things and the biggest things. I mean, that's the biggest improvements. Being able to kind of like hire faster, fire faster, get things figured out sooner has been huge. And that's why we've seen so much growth here in the last couple of months.
Okay. So then tell me about that. Like what's your business like now?
Yeah. So we're continuously, we're booked out probably about 12 weeks, and we're just continuing to hire more. And, like I said, we were doing 25,000 prior to Painter Growth. And now we're doing, 25,000 a week in production. So, I mean, that just shows you a 10x return, like, what can happen. Yeah. So that's kind of like where we're at now in production, and being able to like have me, focus more on what I want to focus on, and like, okay, what do we want to do next, and writing things down, and really just spending a lot of time instead of on the tools or, marketing, taking care of like the stuff that really is like high level activities, high dollar amounts.
Yeah. So the business went from, like you said, I'm just writing stuff down as you talk. So you went going from 25K a month to now over 25K per week in just a few months.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what's your role in the company now? So you're not painting anymore, obviously. So what are you doing on a daily basis?
Yeah. So my daily basis now is, it's a variety of things, but my ideal day right now is like I'm at a computer, being able to type out SOPs. And that's like a big thing I'm doing now is hiring. I still do all the sales. So a lot of my days are spent, going to a bid with, a residential client, commercial client, meetings, whatnot. But, a lot of my time right now, just with where we're booked, is spending time hiring and developing SOPs for those roles.
Yeah, that sounds like some pretty high leverage activities.
Yeah, I know. And it's kind of, it's hard work. It's grueling, but like, I kind of love it where I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is gold. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So how do you feel about your business now versus how you felt about it, 8 months ago?
I feel that, we're just getting started, like each level, I'm like, oh, we could be so much better. And, you see what you're doing and you're like, oh, this would have been amazing, if I had to look back 6 months on where we're at now. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's kind of what I look around at, and like, we're just getting started. You just see new opportunities every time. You're at that next level. You know what I mean? Like we're still a really, really small business, in terms of, size and what we're producing. So
yeah. And how do you feel about the future of your business now?
really good. Like I get really excited about it, and it doesn't feel like work. And I think that's like the biggest thing, is like what I do is like what I'm loving. And yeah, no, it's super exciting. It's a lot of work, but it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah, love it. And what would you, so there's a lot of people coming in who like look at our program and think that it's too expensive, for them. What would you say to someone who's looking down the barrel of joining the program, who just feels like it's too expensive, or they don't want to shell out that kind of money to join Painter Growth?
Yeah, no, what I would say to them is, you think that's a lot of money right now. It's like, it's all relative. And how fast that investment pays off is, it really just depends on how much you want to bet on yourself, honestly. Like if you're going to spend time, doing what these steps lay out, you're going to, take care of that investment in, the first, couple weeks. That's what I'd have to say, is like, you aren't lacking confidence in the program. I think maybe you're just lacking a little bit of confidence yourself to, push yourself there. So, I definitely, recommend it to anyone, no matter, if you can have the time to spend in Painter Growth, it's well worth your investment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you justify the investment at the time, knowing that you're going to college and your business wasn't making very much?
Yeah, that's a good question. I kind of was like, hey, like I have this, I didn't have a lot of overhead. I was kind of one-man shop. A couple of guys would help me out. It would go good. And I was like, you know what? Like, this is going to work. You know what I mean? And it did. It wasn't easy right away. Especially when you're starting stuff in projects like I were when I was, busy with, be basically a full-time job, which was school. So that was, grueling, but, I was able to do it. And I think if you can do it, if you think you can do it, you'll do it. You know what I mean? So
yeah. What type? It's a weird question. I've never asked this one on one of these before, but like, what type of person would you recommend not join Painter Growth?
I don't know. That's a hard question. I can't really think of someone, but really, if you can't hold yourself accountable, that's the biggest thing, is like, I think, you really got to like believe in yourself. And if you like, who I am as a person and what I do is like not really, aligned with taking big bets on myself, like, then you probably got to do a little bit of self-development before you, do something like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So maybe someone that's just, is not kind of at that point where like, they're like, I would bet on myself to get this done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
cool. Anything else you want to say to someone who's like just considering joining, but just is getting a little gun shy?
Just do it. Make sure that you have that time to take care of this, but like you immediately are going to be able to be in a great situation with a great bunch of resources of people and material that is going to be able to, have some huge returns pretty quickly.
Love it.
So,
well, the part I love the most is how you said you're just getting started, because that's where I feel you are at as well.
Thanks. No, I appreciate it, Mike. Hey, there's a whole lot of work to do. You know what I mean? It's not going to slow down. Someone's got to do it. So
cool, man. Well, thanks for being here.
Yeah, no, thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Love being on. Thanks.
Looking forward to the rest of your story.
Yeah. Thank you. You too as well.
Thanks for listening to the Painter Growth Podcast. If you want to grow your painting business, go to www.paintergrowth.com or click on the top link in the description. Talk soon.